tell you how happy I was to see that the green, yellow, and red light was not here tonight. And as I was breathing a sigh of relief, Deborah reminded me, she says, when we don't have the light, the kick to the shin gets you through. So I'm glad to see you wearing her soft shoes, soft-toed shoes. Hold that foot out there, Deborah. I've been mayor for 4 years. Was on city council 2 years prior to that. And prior to that, I did 20 years on the school board. So I've been involved in the community quite a bit, as many of you know. But I could, you give a mayor a microphone and say, what have you done for 4 years? You probably need lights and a kick to the shin and a siren and probably the sun to go down. But I've enjoyed these 4 years. I want to say thank you to voters who have given me that opportunity. I want to introduce my wife, Sharon, who is here. She is one that when I come home at night, she has to listen. She doesn't have those red lights. She's got hard-toed shoes, but her questions usually start out, well, why do you think that? So I have to explain. But she's a good judge of when I need to just take a deep breath sometimes. I think the city, if you look at leading a city has 4 customers that we serve. We got the citizens of Morristown, we got the businesses, we got the industries, and we've got visitors. Those are our 4 customers. And I think city responsibilities, government responsibilities fall into 2 main categories. One is infrastructure, and the other is quality of life. Infrastructure sounds kind of dull and plain. It's not the sexy stuff. It's the streets and the garbage pickup and the public works things. Well, in that category, within the last 4 years, we're building a brand new Department of Public Works compound down off of Merchants Green. Things kind of shifting that way. What we're leaving is a place that has a multiple number of buildings, garages that aren't big enough for new vehicles. We got employees walking across gravel driveways. I kind of refer to that, it looks a lot like Hooverville. And we're getting out of that. And we're excited to be there probably next summer. Utilities is another part of infrastructure. For your taxes, and infrastructure answers the questions. What do I get for my taxes? Well, you get good streets and curbs, and we pave the streets, not every street all the time, every year. We know that. But we have been able to ramp up the number of streets we do each year. But we also, from utilities, you expect water, power, sewer, stormwater management. Those are basic things. MUS in the last 4 years has really ramped up its service to new industrial areas and to residential developments. And there are some significant residential developments now inside the city that will be going up. Fire protection, police protection. We built a new fire hall out on Central Church Road. Got a new $1 million ladder truck that tops all of our buildings. You can fight the fires from above. We've also got a protection class code, and that doesn't mean a lot to folks, but it does to your insurance agent who figures your homeowner rates. That got dropped all the way to a 2. The lower the number, the better. Everybody used to really brag when they were a 4 or a 3. Oh, we're a 2. Police protection, our police department, they spend a lot of time, police and firemen both, with in-service training, getting up to date on what's new. I want to take a moment to compliment our police chief, Roger Overholt, and fire chief, Bill Honeycutt. Our fire department, in addition to a new location, new facilities, they've lowered their response time. When a call comes to the fire department, they average less than 4 minutes getting there. That's pretty good. That's what our taxes get. We also have streets, highways in and out. 25E goes through. I can tell you the city had nothing to do with the engineering and configuration of the Walter State Walmart traffic flow. Innocent. And we didn't cause that sinkhole out there at exit 4. The rain did that. But we're also responsible for jobs. If you live here, you want to live here because you have a place to work. And we have an industrial, certainly industrial growth the last 4 years. Our chamber Marshall, is he still here? Did he duck out when the mayor came up? He may have, but Marshall Ramsey, Jack Fishman, our council's involved with recruiting industry. And there was a nice dinner in Jack's honor last week for all that he's done. This year, Iatrix, last 4 years, Iatrix, Van Hool. We got another one getting ready to announce in a couple of weeks. It's still under a code name, White Bear. Not going to be a lot of polar bears. It's going to be a steel manufacturing company. But the name of the company will be, when they're ready to reveal it, there's going to be one after that too. We're having great job growth. But also, we've had expansions. The TCAT expansion, we're getting out of their way to the new Department of Public Works. They're building the new TCAT. That's workforce development, when it's a great recruiting tool. But the other part of the city responsibility, in addition to infrastructure, is quality of life. It answers the question, you will answer the question, if you live here, are you glad you live here? How do you spend your free time? You know, we recruit industry and they kind of look around, but they got employees who are going to spend a lot of time when they're not at work. And what do we provide? In the last 4 years, we've made some great advances in our public appearance. We've the Farmers Market Pavilion, the downtown green, West Main Street with the downtown lighting. One of the ways that's helped us win the war against the pigeons is we put some panels up under the overhead sidewalks. We took away, said, did you kill those pigeons? No, we just took away their houses. That's what we did. But we've removed almost, we're close to 50 dilapidated, neglected houses that have come down. There's more on the charts. Folks will say, well, how about this one and that one? It's on the list. Where a homeowner, whoever owns the property, either fixes it or it's coming down. Public parks. We've made great advances through our Department of Public Parks and Recreation. Heritage Park, there's a long story there. We know the history of Heritage Park. We're turning that in. We were able to get ownership of that park, and I think, and it's going to be well beyond my time, there's a lot of phases to it, and future councils and future mayors will finish that one out, but it's going to be a great showpiece for our community. Restaurant development, enough said about that. There's plenty of them. We've tried to be business friendly and help that development along. Part of the way we did it, we've made some changes in our ordinance language. We changed language that may have been appropriate 30, 40 years ago, but that is no longer. And that's a very meticulous process. But I could go longer, but those are the two main things, infrastructure and quality of life, that I've tried to focus on and our council has. And I want to compliment voters. You guys have done a nice job in selecting council members. We're losing one, but I think it speaks to the successes that we've had the last 4 years that we've experienced, that we have such two high-quality candidates running for that vacancy. I think that speaks well for our city, it speaks well for our council. But I want to also compliment and praise our city administrator, Tony Cox, his two assistant city administrators, Joey Barnard, Larry Clark. We have Paul Brown, the street department. I've mentioned the two chiefs, Craig Price at Parks and Recreation, Steve Nielsen in planning. These are professionals. The council, we hire the city administrator and the two chiefs. They hire the rest. Their staff, they're the ones that make the wheels turn in the city. But I also want to say that I know we're not perfect. We're always looking, and that's part of the professionalism of our hired staff, we're always looking to check and see what are our weak links. How can we get better? Now, we often get advice and recommendations on what those weak links are and what lack of perfection might be, and that's great. You have to weigh the merits of every complaint or every suggestion you get and make a decision. And I like it when our council embraces the slogan among the 7 of us, there's not a one of us that's smarter than all of us. I think that's helped us in our progress that we've had. And I hope you're pleased with the things that we've done. We've got more to do. We're going to try to make good decisions. We'll try to correct ones that may have not been so good. But we think that we we're not real sensitive. Don't get our feelings hurt a lot. Don't, and which is Steve and Al, and I'll tell you, and Judith, you know, no, the mayor gets paid, but you're going to net about $500 a month. That's what you get paid. So, but you don't. Having a little bit of thick skin's good, but an open mind is better than growing thick skin. I thank you, and I'd like to be your mayor for 4 more years.